So to give you a little bit of context, I've been here in Tokyo, Japan for about 2 weeks now, and I'm going to be here for roughly another 2 weeks. And it's been really cool to sort of experience what it's like to live here, because I've been going to work, taking the commute, working from the Google office in the city, and basically doing a lot of the same things that I would do in New York, except in a completely different country. But right now I have to log on for a 6 a.m. call with somebody on the West Coast, so I'm going to do that right now. Please excuse the gigantic mess on the table. It's been a rough week. Looks like the sun is finally rising. So basically, I just got off a call with my manager and they were giving me some feedback. It's around that time of year again where we're getting quarterly feedback. So basically the way it works at Google is every quarter you have a check-in with your manager, and your manager goes and they talk to a bunch of different people at the company that you've worked with, and then they solicit feedback. They also think about feedback that they have for you, and you have a discussion about it, about the areas that you can improve on and what you're doing well on. For me, what I've noticed is that there is really an art to giving feedback to someone, because you don't want to obviously put them down and only say negative things, but you also want to be truthful enough with them so that they're aware that they have issues or problems that they need to improve on. It doesn't help to be overly negative, but it also doesn't help to be too positive, because then there's like nothing that you can improve on, right? And personally, what I've noticed, having gotten feedback from many different people in the past, both here but also in my previous job as a management consultant at BCG, is that the best feedback givers are the people that are able to break down a piece of feedback into something that's very small and actionable that someone can do like the next day. So for example, instead of just saying, oh, you need to deliver higher quality work, like what does that even mean? Instead, if you can break that down and be like, hey, so this is something that you can do, is to deliver higher quality work, maybe you can spend an additional 15 minutes every time you finish up a PowerPoint deck. Maybe you can print it out and then go through with a pen or a highlighter and check for any stupid mistakes. Maybe every time you put together an Excel model, you can spend a few minutes pressure testing the assumptions before you present it to somebody else for their feedback. Something like that, because actionable feedback is way easier for someone to digest and actually implement so that they improve, rather than just giving them vague feedback about how they need to be better. But anyways, this is the Airbnb that we're staying in, and it's actually a really nice Airbnb. It's quite spacious, and it's located in a neighborhood that is quite quiet and residential, which is exactly what I like. I'll actually show you guys what the street outside looks like. It's a very residential neighborhood. So recently, I've actually been drinking a lot of green tea, and this is not a sponsorship or anything, by the way, but I just really like Ito En's green tea. And this is significant coming from someone who used to drink like 3 cups of coffee a day when I was in college. I had a huge caffeine addiction. And then during COVID, I sort of was able to pair it off. And now I've reduced my caffeine dependency to the point where now I can't even drink a full cup of coffee without feeling super anxious or jittery. And one thing I really like about Japan is there's literally vending machines on every street corner where you can just buy tea, coffee, or water. But anyway, that's my 30-second plug for green tea. So I am going to head to the office right now because it's around 9 a.m. now. And I'll take you guys along with me. Alright guys, not gonna lie, I feel kind of dumb because on my way to the bus stop today, I realized that it's actually a Saturday. Japan is like 13 hours ahead of New York, so whenever I'm on calls with my colleagues, they're all in the past. So like today on calls, it was Friday for people, but it's actually Saturday here in Japan, Saturday morning, but Friday in the afternoon for them. And so I've been sort of operating a day in the past. So I totally forgot that it's Saturday in Japan. There's nobody going to the office and certainly no breakfast or lunch being served. All right, so we are all done with work for the day. Even though it's only 2 p.m. here, it is 8 p.m. in Mountain View, California on a Friday, and so nobody is online anymore. And that means it's time for me to start working on content. Got my MacBook. So I absolutely love making content, and I feel so grateful and fortunate to be able to make the YouTube videos that I do for you guys. Even though, of course, I have a full-time job and so things get pretty busy and it's tough sometimes to squeeze in YouTube when I have other things going on in my life and at work. And in addition to YouTube videos, recently I've also been exploring long-form written content as well. And so for those of you who aren't aware, I actually started a newsletter last month where I write about similar topics that I make YouTube videos about. If that sounds interesting to you, you can feel free to check out the link to the newsletter in the description below. But I think the one thing that's the most exciting to me about making content and putting it out there online is the fact that I'm able to take all of the things that I've learned over the past few years, over the course of my life, from not just school, but also in life and at work. I'm able to take all of these things and apply them in a productive way to create something that's not only fulfilling for me to create, but also that benefits you. And now that I've experienced what it's like to be able to make something, create something that didn't exist prior to me thinking it up in my brain, it's just addicting. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to go back to just being someone who consumes content. So guys, this is my personal Notion template that I use when planning out what videos I want to upload. Now, I only recently started doing this, which is a little bit embarrassing to admit because previously I was sort of just winging it and coming up with video ideas every week. But now I'm trying to plan things out a little bit more far in advance, and I could really use your help. If you have ideas for videos that you want me to make, please drop it in the comment section below. I read every single comment and I really want to know what you guys want to see so that I can make content that actually is helpful. So don't hesitate to drop me a comment. I read all the comments, as I said, and I need help with crowdsourcing video ideas. So, heading home from the cafe right now, and had a really good work session actually. I was working on the next post for my newsletter, a commentary on some of the things that I've noticed living in Japan compared to the US, and how rules versus freedom also come out in the way that we think about our careers, right? Like there's the traditional path where you follow the rules and you do all the things that you're supposed to do, like go to school and get good grades and get a well-paying salaried job. And then there's the non-traditional path, like doing things that maybe your parents don't approve of or don't understand, or pursuing entrepreneurship. I put a lot of thought into this one, so really appreciate it if any of you who are interested want to check it out.